guys, it's Kim here with Fairly Fiber Fun. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today's episode is Tour de Fleece Week 2 recap. I will be discussing with you guys and showing yarns that I've spun and all the dyeing that I did in week 2. There wasn't a whole lot getting done, but that's because I got sick. And life happened. At the end of the episode, I will show you guys a clip of my first attempt at unsupported long draw spinning, which was not as easy as I thought it would be, but I'll explain that later. Today is July 29, 2018. This is the last day of Tour de France and the last day of Tour de Fleece. If you are a new viewer, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoy this episode, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, and questions in the comment box down below. I love reading them and I love responding to them. So all those comments make my day. Today's episode is coming to you a week late because I got sick. And right around the second half of week 2, I came down with a really bad cold. And then when I was getting over that, I came down with stomach virus. So today's the first day I have felt good enough to film in 2 weeks. So here we go. We're going to try it. I'm still not 100%, but we're going to give it a try. So, in week 1, I had spun over 2,000 yards of yarn. And in week 2, I spun over 700. So, not a lot of spinning got done. I focused mostly on prepping the Jacob fleeces that I have recently gotten from a local farm. And by local, I'm talking about an hour's drive from me, which is where the best farms are. So anyway, these fleeces were amazing, and I separated them out by white, gray, and black, spun a single of each, applied them together to make a black and white yarn, I guess, whatever that's called. Sorry, my brain's not wanting to work today. Anyway, and then I dyed them red, which I mixed. To get this red, I mixed equal parts of Jacquard acid dyes, fire red, cherry red, and pumpkin orange. And this is the resulting yarn. Isn't that beautiful? I'll post some close-up pictures if this isn't showing up all that well. Anyway, so I have 3 skeins of this, and 141 yards, 134 yards, and 128 yards. These were reskeined yesterday, and I put my little tags on them. I've got the weight, the yardage, and the colorway, and all the pertinent information. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with these. I love them. They're squishy. They're not the softest fiber. They've got a little bit of scritchiness to them, but they're so squishy and wonderful, and I love working with Jacob, and I adore this yarn. I want to make a whole bunch more of these 3-tone yarns and dye them all different colors, because I love how the gray takes the dye a little differently, and even some of the black takes the dye, because it's not a true black, it's more of a very dark gray. So anyway, it just gives a neat tonal variation that you wouldn't get from just white yarn. So it's pretty cool. I like this. So yes, all the spinning I did on week 2 and half the dyeing. Now, I spun some 3 skeins of merino during week 1, and on week 2 I dyed them with gunmetal. So I got these awesome colors. I did this purposely a tonal. Actually, it was kind of accidental. I threw the skeins dry in the dye pot, which is how I did the Jacob as well. I did not pre-soak with acid. I put the dye and the acid in the dye pot and then threw the skeins in and heated it very, very, very slowly. Well, once the dye was mostly absorbed from this pot, I decided there wasn't quite enough color, so I added more, and because it was hot and because there was already acid in there, the dye struck very quickly, and so it became quite tonal. It struck before I could stir it in thoroughly. So there we have it. The idea behind these is to make a pair of leggings that look like blue jeans, and I love how gunmetal gives almost a blue jean feel or look, appearance. So yeah, really happy with that. Regained, I have 288 yards on this one, 312 yards on this one, and 324 yards on this one. So I'm about halfway to legging state. So I got to spin 3 more skeins of these, of merino, and then attempt to get the same color. Don't worry, when I knit the leggings, I will alternate skeins, so it'll be well blended. So, so here's the skeins for week 2. The red ones spun and dyed during week 2, and the blue ones, or the gunmetal ones, dyed and spun during week, just dyed during week 2. Wow. I'm going to give you a little close-up of the skeins so you can see the different color variations. I like how these turned out. I really like them. I like the tonal variations. I love dyeing for random, to see what happens, and I love layering color and glazing with color. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, that's all of the week 2 tour to Fleece. Please excuse my sick brain here. Now, right before I show you the little clip about non-supported long draw, just a couple little teeny announcements that I forgot earlier in the show. The first is that, if you weren't aware, I am in Toccoa, Georgia, and in historic downtown Toccoa, right on the square, there is a little store called All Things Currahee that holds some of my hand-dyed fibers for spinning, and will hold some hand-dyed yarns, which I will show you once I get those done. So that is the plan. But right now there are some spinning fibers available in All Things Currahee. If you're interested, go check them out. Also, the Ashling Booksellers bookstore, which is right across the street from All Things Currahee, is going to have Fiber Art Fridays starting the first Friday of September, and will be the first Friday of every month. You can find all the details on Facebook in the Facebook group. I have on my calendar to attend all of the Fiber Art Fridays at Ashling Books, so hopefully I'll see some of you there. If you guys are local, I hope to see y'all there, and I'll be happy to show you a little bit of spinning techniques and things while I'm there. Now, also, you can find my fibers and upcoming yarns and some of the earrings, similar to the ones I'm wearing today, in my Etsy shop. We still have the Christmas in July fibers in the shop. I'm not going to take them down. I thought about it, but I'm going to leave them in there. So anytime you're ready to purchase some Christmassy spinning fibers, go check out my shop. It's fairlyfiberfunshop.etsy.com. All right. This was my first attempt to spin long draw unsupported, and I was having some trouble with my spinning wheel. The take up wasn't working right. There is a sweet spot between the amount of twist coming into the yarn and how quickly it is, so the treadle speed and the ratio. A take up on your wheel and your drafting speed. So I was using my antique double drive wheel, and sometimes the drafting would work well, and other times when I pulled back, the yarn would just pull right off the bobbin instead of drafting. So I had a bit of trouble, and I had to just keep going back to supported long draw. There were times when it worked and I was just touching that sweet spot, but I never quite got it. So it was a little bit of a struggle, but my advice to you, if you're trying to do unsupported, true long draw spinning, be patient with yourself, be patient with your wheel, fiddle with the tension and treadle speed and all of that, and your draft speed. And if you keep reverting back to supported long draw to get it to work, that's okay. Eventually you will naturally transition into the unsupported long draw as long as you just keep trying. So without further ado, let's watch that. Again, thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Bye!